All right, so somebody wrote if they have 5G right outside their house, right outside their door. And I said, well, put some organ out there if you do have it. And they were like, well, what's organ? I'm fixing this because I had to move it all. There we go. So they said, what's organ? So this is what organ is. This is standard organ, okay? It's gold, silver, platinum, all put in epoxy. When epoxy pushes down on something, it creates a piezoelectric charge. So you can do this in any shape. These are the ones my friend had made this one. And I believe there's a, yes, if I don't know if I can show you this. There's a crystal. You see the crystal in there? And it's wrapped with copper. Can you see that crystal right in there? It's got a little copper wire around it. Okay. So this is a standard organ generator, organ thing. You can buy these online. Just look up organ. They make them little ones. I have little ones, pendants. I used to keep one on Sammy. Whatnot. This is my organ generators. Now, do you want to see organ on steroids? This is my organ generator. Okay, and this is the one I had made years and years. Orgonite, organ, same thing. Okay, if you look carefully, I had to put aluminum foil on the bottom because it was ripping the hole, so I'll just take this aluminum foil off. Okay, if you look carefully in there, there's 1 crystal, 2 crystals, 3 crystals, 4 crystals, right? And if you look at the bottom, you can see they're wrapped in copper. They come together on a massive crystal. Okay, can you see the massive crystal? So what I have here is a Mobius coil made of quartz crystals, utilizing a 4th quartz crystal. On the 4th quartz crystal is selenite. Can you see the piece on the side? Selenite. A rutilated quartz. What else did I put on there? I think this is onyx. And citrine. So I put them in there. So, and it has the gold, the copper, the silver, the platinum, and in the corners, to amplify it, if you see, I have different crystals. I have amethyst in there. Now, no, it's not an acrylic, it's an epoxy acrylic. It's a specialized, you just don't use anything. And when you put this in the mold and it hardens down, I have an organ generator actually hooked to the generator. And I have 2 wires coming out when you slap it. I have one of the last few, I brought it from, I'm a little old, the old days. I have an analog generator, not a digital. I get a true 144 kilohertz sawtooth out through it. And then I amplify it through one of these. It's a squared crystal generator. And I have some agate coils on it and it blasts the whole room. I could do like I used to do my aerobic room, which was 30 by 30. I could fill a whole room with that frequency. And people used to come into my meditations and go, wow, I get so much when I'm here. I go home and I get nothing because you're sitting under an organ generator, which brings the divine frequency in. So this is a way when you put an epoxy on a crystal and it tightens down on it, it creates a piezoelectric charge. And this will alter the 5G frequency. So I had made these years ago. This was the thing I used to do. I don't do it anymore. You know, I don't use external things anymore. This was the old, shall we say, what would we call that? New Age days. You can buy, right? You're not going to buy anything like this. This is a Leana luxury item. You're not going to buy these. Nobody makes these. So I don't really rely on them that much anymore. they are in my house, and they keep Sammy nice. And Sammy likes to lay, not so much on these, but I have that actually one of them back there. See the big crystal back there? That big crystal. I have another one. I have quite a few of these around my house. And Sammy likes to lay his head right on it and watch TV. He loves Rocky. That's the name of my other crystal. I'm not a shungite fan. Shungite and water is supposed to take out period. I never used shungite. I tried it once. It had no effect on me. I test everything with me. I'm a quartz individual. Quartz is very, very powerful for me, meaning it amplifies. Quartz is an amplifier. And it amplifies what you're putting out. So if I'm putting out the Christ light, it amplifies the Christ light. Christ light blocks EMFs better than shungite. No, orgone and orgonite, it's really the same thing. It's intertwined, the name. It's been so, some people use some bigger things, some people use less. So, all right, enough. Let's get into what we're here for. We need to light up the Christ light so we stop this bullshit. We stop the lies, we stop everything else. We annihilate into oblivious because of the light, the darkness, the demonics. Mankind is not fathers. They don't throw them away in war. You don't stop people from saving people. So what I'm telling you is beware, watch what's happening, stand up, stand in your Christ light, stand with the authority given to you by the divine creator. You have more power. If you didn't have power, extreme power, they wouldn't be trying to stop you. You have more power than you could ever imagine in your pinky. And they are petrified of mankind coming together. And I'm starting to believe the white hats are just as petrified. Maybe, and I'm going to be the first one to say this out there, and I don't give a crap, maybe, just maybe, we're just changing wardens. And the whole thing is a fraud. Not like we've never been defrauded again. A mud flood? Tartaria? So, maybe if we stop supporting all of this shit and support each other, things would change. And that's exactly right. A boss is a boss. I want proof. 1 ounce of proof. All of you can say everything you want about the white hats and Q and all this other shit. Where is the proof? Where? Somebody give me hardcore proof. You can't. It's just a bunch of people going. Same shit is being bounced around from truther to truther to truther. There is nothing new. Nothing. And it's just being bounced around. I tell you what. Now I'm on my soapbox. Standing on my soapbox, okay? And that when howdy. When Abraham Lincoln put us under martial law, we've been under martial law ever since then. In 1933, when Theodore Roosevelt, FDR rather, Roosevelt, came in and wrote the martial law and revised it a little bit, we don't have constitutional rights. Because under martial law, they threw the Constitution out the window, basically. We got a little bit, but not quite. So, what it states on that executive order is that it can only be rescinded by a POTUS. I ask you this. Somebody tell me why. When Trump came in the first time, why didn't he rescind? He's a POTUS. All he had to do was rescind that executive order, and we would not have been under martial law anymore. If we weren't under martial law, our SQVs could have been released. You want an RV? I can get you more money faster than anything through your SQV. Could you all live on a couple of, I don't know, couple $1 million? If we weren't under martial law, I could get your easily your mortgages illegal. Banks shut them down. And you want to know how fast people would wake up when they found out, I'm not paying a mortgage, you're not paying a mortgage, they're not paying a mortgage. Oh, wow, the banks were lying to us all these years. Oh, my God, the laws. Oh, we don't have to drive with licenses anymore? Are you kidding me? We don't have to answer to the motor vehicle? Do you want to see how fast things would have moved forward and people would have woke up? Because those that knew how to do it, I, for one, and a lot of other people I know, would have came forward, and then without martial law, the constitutional law and the republic law, which are two different laws, which are the Declaration of Independence and the Articles of Confederation, would have been upheld. And we could have changed all this within a couple of years. And the dense people who didn't know crap about crap, money would have motivated them into going, hey, wow, I don't have to pay my mortgage? The banks are stealing? What do you mean? What's this SQV trust? What's this? We have trust? What are trusts about? Show me one hard proof evidence that any of this is done. That's all I'm asking. I think the same thing that destroyed people are the same thing that's destroying us again. AI is out of control. Artificial interfacing. You're all being connected to it. You're already connected to it. It's sucking the very power that you are, that is given to you by divine creator, because you are divine creator. You are the Christ light. They blocked the Christ light, but the Christ light is us. The Christ light is every one of mankind who has not rescinded the Christ light, who has not denounced it, who has not turned to Satan. That is all of you. The Christ light is within you, but you have been so brainwashed into a different culture that is now difficult to tap into your Christ light and connect to the quantum field. You know how I get my answers? I connect to the quantum field. I connect to the Christ light. I don't channel, let people come through me and all that. That's all bullshit. You just go to the quantum field, which is the Christ light, which is the proton field, whatever you want to call it. You want science names for it? You want spiritual names for it? I don't care. You just bring your consciousness to that level and you know everything. It's all there for you. Nothing can touch you. But the minute you go into fear because, oh, brothers are suing you, this is happening, you can't connect like you are. Oh, you want to know why all these hurricanes are coming? Because the matrix, the Luciferian matrix, was losing power because people were waking up into the Christ light. They were waking up, whether they called it Christ light or not, they were waking up to this beautiful book, the Bible, and the divine that was in it. And whether they put the Christ light outside of them or the Christ light in them, the Christ light outside would be worshiping and following Jesus and having Jesus do everything for you, which is okay. Or whether the Christ light was inside and you becoming a master like Yeshua. It didn't matter. You were on the path of divine righteousness. And that divine righteousness was causing the Luciferian matrix to crumble It didn't have enough power to keep it up. So they had to create more fear, heartache, problems, issues, so that people would go into fear, people would get angry, people would get frightened. The panic. And you're hooked up into it. So all that energy that is pure Christ light that's being misqualified and is being sucked into the Luciferian matrix to keep those demonic Luciferian matrix going and keep us enslaved. It's incredible. Why do you think there's so much crap hitting my fan? Because I can get the answers. But I'm too busy shoveling out all this 3D shit that just keeps coming my way. And every one of you can do this. But we got to get it out there. And you know what really it tweaks my tweakies? You need to meditate. You need, until you connect constantly, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. I'm telling you, you were chosen for this mission. The Christ light is needed more than ever. And if we don't do it now, what's our alternative? Put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye? What's our alternative? Letting the evil ones win? Take a minute, just no texting, just take a minute. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing before Yeshua, before the divine creator, and answering the question, what'd you do to assist mankind? Did you worry about paying your bills? Did you worry about everything else, or did you assist mankind? What'd you do to stop evil? What'd you do to get back and subdue dominion? Did you stand in divine righteousness? Don't text. Just be in your own, close your eyes and answer these questions for yourself. I don't want to know anything. Can you imagine yourself at the day of reckoning, standing before the divine creator and answering that question? Did you lie? Did you cheat? Did you steal? Because the time's coming. The only way out of this mess right now is ascension. I'm not asking for answers. I don't want answers. I want you to be with yourself. Don't tell me. I've got my own issues. I've got my own answers. Did you do the right things by your brothers and sisters, your mothers and fathers, your cousins? Did you do the right thing by not humanity, negate, ab initio? Did you do the right thing by your neighbors, your friends, your loved ones, mankind, strangers? Did you do unto others as you would have them do unto you? And the time is now. We can't keep doing this. And there are way too many people depending on Trump to save their ass. It's not going to happen. You're still going to be imprisoned. And it might be a better lifestyle. But the only way out is through you. And stop letting all these people tell you, sit back and do nothing. Bullcrap. Sit back and do nothing is the mantra of the demonic. If you can just sit and be Christ-like, well, then you can sit back and do nothing and just be Christ-like. But there isn't anyone here that can do that yet. We've given our power away, where every time we misqualify anything by the words we speak, the actions we do, the deeds we do, that Christ-like, that power is going to the Luciferian matrix to keep us enslaved. Is there one amongst us that is 100% divine righteous? Oh, thoughts count. Not one, or you wouldn't be here. But we're coming together, assisting. I'll tell you something else, too, that I've never seen before, which I really appreciate. The ones that have lost everything, they have nothing. Nothing at all. They've lost kids. They've lost so much in their life with this whole thing. Some of them, their husbands or wives are still missing. Their children are missing. Their animals. So many of their animals and pets are history. They're the fastest to help someone else. The ones who have everything. I was mortified. I went into TJ Maxx to return something so I could donate that money to somebody. I didn't need it. I could not believe the amount of buying of garbage that was being done when people have nothing. So, and I am so sick and tired of hearing this RV crap. Why are people still following these so-called truthers that do nothing but lie? Every day. It'll happen tomorrow, it'll happen tomorrow, it'll happen tomorrow. We're doing this. Oh, the CMKX got paid out. Oh, the Indian claim got paid out. Oh, the farmers got paid out. Oh, bull crap. You're lying through your teeth and you're chasing money. Thou shalt not serve two masters. You cannot serve two masters. Do not serve money. Money isn't going to save your butt. Getting money to assist people isn't going to save mankind. Getting righteous and standing in divine righteousness and showing others how to do divine righteousness. You tell me how I wasn't here for this. You tell me how these stupid cups, my little breath, watch, can blow them away, right? You tell me how they didn't blow off my backyard. You tell me how all my little statues that weigh a pound best didn't blow away, why all the trees around me came down. Christ-like. The only time I have issues is when I choose to allow myself to fall into the 3D. It's time. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Ending it there. Sonia, I'm gonna poo-poo that. Sonia writes, let's create love, harmony, freedom, and abundance for all. No. We cannot create for anybody, but we can be for ourselves. And when we be love, we be harmony, we be freedom, we be Christ light, others will come and say, huh? How you doing it? You cannot create for another. You can assist. So, not that I'm patting myself on the back, but there was a lady sitting on a park bench with a kid in a stroller just crying. It wasn't a park bench. It was a bench on the side of the road. It wasn't a park. Like a bus stop bench. And I went to the next parking lot. I pulled over and I walked all the way back to the bench. And I sat with her and I asked her, is there anything I can do? She said, no. I said, would you allow me to pray with you? And she just started to cry and she said yes. So I took her hand and she took my hand and we prayed. And we lit up Christ light. The tears stopped and she said, thank you. I now have the strength to face what I have to go through. What did that take? 2.5 minutes? Didn't take money. It didn't take anything from me. I can still cry over it. I got in the car and I just cried. It was like, thank you for using me. That's all it takes. That's all we have to do. She wasn't devastated like some of the other people, but it's still devastating when you can't feed your kid or you got struggles and stuff. You know, it's still a lot of work. It's still a lot of work. So you can do things like that. And guess what? You don't have to be there in person. Individually, negate, ab initio, individually. You can close your eyes, ask, go into the Christ light and ask, is there someone I can sit on a park bench with? And imagine holding someone's hand who is in so much pain. The Christ light will pick those who are asking. And you can just sit there with an individual and hold the Christ light. That's all you need to do. Where did the moon go? In Austin, it disappeared and now rising in a different place. Glitch in the matrix? It's all fake. We have been recording all along. It's all fake. Everything you ever learned is a lie, practically. The only truth is divine truth, and that's Christ light. And people are going, well, you know, when you get to the higher realms, that's going to be changed. It doesn't matter. We're not there yet. We're here. Shelley asks, and her other question is, could you explain the auric field and how it is cracked by drinking alcohol? Absolutely. Okay. So the auric field is, we're a 7-base system. We used to be a 12-base system. I'm not going into all of that. It's way too complicated. It's negate. It's way too long-winded. So this is you. That's Shelley. She's got no clothes on. We'll give her a smile, though. Yay, Shelley. Okay. That's your field. That's your energy field. You have chakras. Okay, I'll do a side view. So this is her head. We're doing a side view. Let's do your throat chakra. I can't draw all of them, but you get the idea. All right, so this is Shelly's side view. That's her head, that's her leg. I can't do an arm, it's a side view. This is her throat chakra. Her throat chakra, how many of you have ever been Girl Scouts or saw those collapsible cups? Right? When you pull them out, they have rings around it. Each one of those rings is a cone, and there's 7 inside of one chakra, but I'm drawing it this way because it's the easiest way I can draw it on flat paper. So each one of those cones is connected to a layer of your auric field. You have 7 major chakras, and you have 7 layers of your auric field. We used to be a 12-base system. We're now a 7-base system. Okay? So the energy that your throat chakra is about experience, power. Are you wah 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 power, or are you me 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 me? Not. So it's a sister chakra to your sacral chakra, and it projects your power. So if you're one of these me 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 me, it's clogged. It's got all kinds of shit in it. So now the energy from your auric field can't flow in and out of your chakra very easily. So it's got to get dumped, and eventually this will cause dis-ease in the system. So what happens is when you drink alcohol, let's make alcohol black. Funny movie. When you drink alcohol, this is energy. It's no wonder that they call alcohol spirit. What else do they call spirit? The Spirit of God, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. It's the Spirit. When you have spirit in school, rah, 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 shish, kumbah, right? You have lots and lots of spirit. The Spirit is your energy. Spirit equals energy. Alcohol is tainted energy. So what it does, now remember, this is not a wall. This is energy. It's no different than this. All right, everybody, let's do something really fun, real fast. I'm going to show you something about what alcohol does. Pick up your hands, put them up to your computer screen. It's digital, but we can still do. Only that of the highest Christ light can be projected. Everything else will be none. Now feel what I'm sending. I send a little bit of Christ light, a little bit of the divine Christ light from my field so everybody could feel it. That's my intention. Everybody who's on PPF right now, on this webinar. Can you feel it in your hands? Okay, now hold that. I'll be right back. Don't go away. How many? Okay, I'm back. Okay, we're going to do that again. Sending divine Christ light. Just a little bit. Okay, you still all feeling that? Now, I don't have alcohol in my house, but somebody did come by one time and they left this. NyQuil. It's all sealed still. Never opened it, but it's alcohol. You're going to watch me pour the NyQuil. Okay. I'm going to hold the NyQuil in my field. I don't know how I'm going to do this with my hands. I'm going to send the same Christ light Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I was told no. I'm going to send you the energy of the NyQuil. I just can't take the smell anymore. Holy shit, that stuff stinks. Oh my goodness. I don't know how anybody could do this stuff. It smells to high heaven. Alcohol, this thing is like, what, 40% alcohol? It has a lot of alcohol in it. You could do this at home. This has energy. Everything is energy. This energy, alcohol is much like what? Alchemy. This is designed, alcohol is designed, it's an alchemic type of thing to alter your energy field. Now the Christ light, that's why I couldn't send Christ light with this, because the Christ light will overdo this. The Christ light can appeal this. But you're not standing in Christ light, you're standing in 3D. So when you're here, right, and you're drinking alcohol comes in. Maybe I'll make it a brighter color so you can see it against the blue. Let's make alcohol orange. Oh, we'll make it a red. You can see red easy. So you're drinking this alcohol knowing it is actually an alchemist alcohol. Alcohol is an alchemist alcohol energized by demonic. Let me show you something. Can we say this? Demonic, alchemist, alchemist, demonic. Like Masonic is man of Satan. This is an alchemistic process of the demonic. It is charged. I can charge things with anything I want. I can charge Christ light into stuff. It's what I do with my food. And those of you who took the retreat, right? Those of you, what was that, Jonaluska? Before you could eat, you had to take grapefruit juice, make one sweet and make one, be an alchemist and change the chemical structure of the grapefruit juice before you were allowed to eat. And I had to taste it, right? And make sure it was good. Am I lying? Did you guys not do that? Did that not what we did? So you can charge anything. Water can be charged. So when you drink alcohol, this is you. Here we go. It's coming in your system, going down the tube. Now you have all these chakras. I just have the throat chakra drawn. It's going to come out into here, and it's going to damage the field. And then you have, let's use the blue one. Here's your power chakra. Here's your root chakra, your heart chakra, your third eye chakra, your crown chakra. And all these, there's all your chakras, and they're all connected to the field. So this alcohol is energized to destroy the field. So now, if you would look at your field Like this is Shelley still. This is a frontal view versus the side view. You got a spot there. Remember, this is not a wall, it's energy. You know, think of it more like this. These are my bad sheets, yeah, okay. This is your beautiful energy field. Let's just say this is all Christ-like. Now you're putting this energy into it. Can you infuse it with Christ light before drinking? Why would you want to? Why would you want to drink anything that was made from the demonics, the satanic? Alan says Yeshua drank a little wine. That's okay. Are you Yeshua? Can you move a mountain? Can you walk on water yet? First of all, wine was not alcohol like it is now. It was a completely different thing back in the old days. Second of all, none of you are walking on water. The minute you can walk on water, knock your socks off. You can change anything into anything. The minute you can walk through walls, come and talk to me. Wine was not what it was years ago. Wine was just like the old Italians used to make. It's not spirits. Wine was just grapes. You know how apples become cidery, vinegary? Wine is the stage before it gets to vinegar. Now it's processed like you can't believe. It's not the same. Do you think any food that they were eating back then is what we eat today? Wine was not called spirits. We don't even have proper manna anymore. It's been taken off the earth. Manna was gold. It's all gone. So, everything's different. But you have the right to do whatever you want. You have to ask yourself, anything that causes addiction, is that divine? Alcohol is made with so much processed sugar. It's all sugar. Sugar causes cancer. It's bleached, for God's sakes. I have never in my life had alcohol, cigarettes, smoked any kinds of drugs. I have had antibiotics, which I had to process afterwards, and I did take, when this tooth went crazy, I did take codeine. It's either that or rip my face off. But I cleared all that out too, and I had to requalify all that. So, you can do whatever you want. But I never touched any of that stuff because I've been connected since I was a kid, and they told me straight out, eh-eh. On top of that, my parents would have killed me. No, that's another story. But so that's how it's done. You take it into your temple. Let me rephrase it this way. Let's just do this. This is probably a good, because I'm just hearing this real forge. No, I wasn't fortunate. It was a choice. I worked diligently. I chose it. Let's say this is the house of God, the divine creator. This is pure divine righteousness. It smells like chocolate, so we put chocolate. This is pure divine righteousness. And let's say you're going to walk into this. We're going to go back to Blue Shelley. She's a giant. We've got to make the door really big. Shelley's going to go into the house of God. Okay? Is Shelley going to grab hands with Satan and walk into the house of God with Satan? Would Shelley want to do that? Right? So now, this house is you. You're the temple of the Christ light. The Christ light resides right there in the middle of it. Are you going to walk in with Satan into the temple? So you say to the Christ light, go away. I'm choosing this. Because you're the king of your dominion. You're the queen of your dominion. So the minute you bring darkness in is the minute you tell the Christ light, bye-bye. And the Christ light goes out a window and you bring the satanic darkness in. We do it every day. Different ways, but we do it. Of course it's a practice of communion. You want to tell me what priest can take a wafer and change it into the body of Christ and eat and pretend to eat the Christ, Jesus? Cannibalism? They're so big into having you do that shit. Absolutely, Kim. All the topical energies, sanitizers, yep. That's why they put it. I would love, look at it this way. How many of you know the best way to purify water? To get all the crap out of it. Light. You got it, Sandra. Light. You use light and it burns away all the crap. Ultraviolet light. Can anybody tell me what UV stands for? Can anybody tell me? Ultraviolet light. What's ultraviolet? When you have ultra anything, what is it? Ultra is a good thing, right? You have a lot of it. They're using violet light. Ooh, my, oh, my, oh, my. What's a violet light? The violet light transforms everything into divine perfection. All right, moving on. Satya says, can you assist with the decree or words to say in the event of another hurricane to calm the hurricane, send in the Christ light? Absolutely. I stood on my deck during Sandy. I stood on the deck with my helmet on, my dog in my backpack. I had my other dog, Ralphie, in my backpack, waiting to evacuate at any second. As the water came up, and I stood out there, my hands out, and I called to the elemental kingdom, and I said, leave my house alone. My house was the only house on the block that did not get flooded. A 20-something foot sailboat broke mooring and came between my tree and my house and banged into my house. I had 7.5. I had like this much more. It wasn't much, like the width of a finger or a thumb. The water rose that much more. My house would have been gone, and it stopped. You can do it. But there can be no doubt. Kelnya, that's not true at all. If it is, they're not doing it right at all. She writes, what are your feelings about the restoration of the Republic? Dr. Sandra Mararaki, 49 states seated. We need men and women to help come together. Okay, I work with the Republic. I'm still working with that. However, you do not need 49 states to be seated. So therefore, they don't even know what they're doing, because we were not 50 states in the beginning when we became the Republic. So that group is telling me they have no clue what they're doing. There are a lot of groups trying to do this. If they had 49 states, they should have already, but they don't have the counties. They don't have the General Jural Assemblies in place with the counties. Otherwise, they would be done and they would approach the thing. But they don't. You only need 38. You don't need 49. Rita says the moon was mentioned several couple times. I want to know why I've seen the moon out there. And I've said this forever. I'm looking up at the sky, and people argue with me. I'm like, okay, you don't have to argue. Do what you want. I'm looking up at the sky. Straight up is the sun. Right over here is the moon. So you're telling me the other side of the earth, if it's round, is dark? Meanwhile, I can call people in Australia, because Australia is right underneath where I am. I can call them. They got the sunshine out when it's nighttime. The moon's out there when it's dark there. Just saying. Indigo. Is there a color for the throat chakra? What are your thoughts on crystal chakra bowls? They're chakra bowls. Crystal chakra bowls are just bowls that are tuned to frequencies that they say your chakra is. You have to be really careful with this stuff, because you really don't know. You cannot tell me that everybody's chakra, this particular chakra, is at this particular sound. So what they do is they play a bowl that's tuned to, let's say, the throat chakra, which they say is this frequency. Now I ask you this, and these are things I put out in the retreat, and we did things in the retreat. Sound does great things for you if it's properly done. It's frequency. But why are they tuning your chakras when Christ-like can do it a lot easier? And on top of that, your chakras are colors. If they're colors, how come you can't see them? So why are they using frequencies that are in the broadband of your eyes, but you can't see them? You gotta be careful. All right, that's all the time we have for this. There's a lot more questions. I apologize, I can't get to them all. But we got to get on to our meditation. We're behind time, but that's okay, because I took a little extra time for North Carolina. The beautiful mountains of North Carolina. But like everything else, they will survive. They will survive. It's interesting, though. I'm going to leave you with this thought. Put it in your own head, and then we're going to do the meditation. There was a great mud flood that changed the world. There's plenty of evidence for it. There were giants that walked this earth. They changed that. There's plenty of evidence for it. There's a lot of things that have been changed, completely wiped off the plane of earth. Gone. Isn't that what's happening to the beautiful places? The reason they did it all a long time ago was for a great reset. It's all happening again, differently. Isn't it? Or is it? Perhaps we're in the middle of it. Perhaps we need the people to stand up. Perhaps we're running out of time. Perhaps something will happen. We locked forever in here. I don't know. What does the Bible say? If I could find one individual, just one, I'll save the town. Perhaps they're trying to get rid of every individual. Don't know. Hi, I'm Leana from PowerPassionFreedom.com. If you liked what you heard, why don't you come and join us on Sundays? We do a whole free question and answer period followed by a meditation. Bring all your questions. All you have to do is go to PowerPassionFreedom.com to register for Sunday. Oh, and don't forget to like us and subscribe to us below because we're always adding new meditations and content and you don't want to miss out on it. I'll see you Sunday.